欢迎来到英语快速通。雅思口语
Part 1, Work. Do you work or study?
I am currently working as an investment analyst in a large investment company. I joined this company 2 years ago.
What do you do for the living?
The job is my main source of income. Apart from that, I work as a part-time consultant in a business organization and do some analysis on stock markets as a freelancer.
How much time do you spend at your job?
I normally spend around 8 hours per day from Monday to Friday in my main job and work about 4 hours as a consultant in another office either on Saturday or on Sunday. And the consulting job also requires me 2 hours approximately every night. So on an average, I work around 9 to 10 hours per day.
How long have you been working?
As a full-time employee, I've been working for the last 2 years. But I started my freelancing career far before than that.
Do you like your job?
Definitely, I love my job. I love the work I'm doing and I also like to be more productive in my job. In reality, the job brings me bread and butter. I am so grateful for having a nice job in a prestigious organization.
What are you doing these days?
You mean in my main job, right? In my office, I am working on a mining project and I need to report the progress every day to the team leader. In the meantime, I am doing market analysis on the metal spot markets.
What do you do in a typical day at work?
I mostly do market research and try to project the market trend of particular sectors. I evaluate the market performance and then call a meeting to present my research. I discuss the result with my colleagues and other senior managers to explore the possibility of future investment opportunities. I often attend meetings with my CEO and team members to track the progress of investment projects.
What responsibilities do you have?
Well, I work as an investment analyst in a large investment company and my responsibilities include marking to market, market research and exploring the potential investment opportunities. Those are in fact the main responsibilities I have in my job. However, due to the fluctuating nature of the stock and spot markets, I often need to perform additional tasks as required for making an investment project successful.
Why did you choose that kind of work?
Well, being an investment analyst was not my initial career plan. While I worked in a large investment company as an accountant, they promoted me to this position because my major is accounting and finance, and I found it more challenging and demanding. I started enjoying the work and then decided to work as an investment analyst. The accounting position is not as challenging as investment position. I'll continue my career in finance sector because I want more challenge.
Did you have to do any training or study for this job?
Accounting and finance was my major at university and this is a must to start a career as an accountant or an investment analyst. After I worked on many investment projects for about 1.5 years, I was promoted to the investment analyst job position. I don't need any training as investment analyst. But if I continue to work as an accountant, I will have to do the CPA course.
Is there anything you don't like about your job?
I would say I enjoy most of the responsibilities I have in this job position. However, the part I enjoy less is the pressure I have to take to finish work before a deadline. Sometimes the time estimation is not perfect due to the market movement and other factors, but that's the time the management team has to make decision. Once a deadline is fixed, they want to have it religiously followed. As a result, I often have to cancel my family programs and work in the office during holidays. This is the part I don't like since it damages my family and personal life.
Was it easy to get this job?
Well, it's hard to say. As I told you, I started my career as an accountant and then was promoted to this current job position. Probably the CEO of that company considered me as a deserving candidate for this position. So I would say this is a tough job to get, but in my case, that was comparatively easier.
Did you like your first day at work?
Thank you for the question. In fact, My first day at work was such a unique experience that I will remember it forever. If I recall my memory of that particular day, I was nervous. It was like being on an alien planet with no friends or known persons. I sat at my desk and filled up some necessary forms, and other employees came to my desk to greet me. I was intimidated when the HR manager asked me for a document that I forgot to bring. But I got back my harmony and usual myself when I found that my boss, the HR manager, and other colleagues were very amiable and friendly. My CEO called me into his room and described my job responsibilities and tried to motivate me. That was really impressive, as it completely erased my fear and anxiety. So I would say I liked my first day at work very much. Now, whenever a new employee joins our company, I behave very compassionately and try to be very friendly with them, considering how much it matters to them.
Have you always wanted to do this type of work?
If you mean working as an investment analyst, that would be difficult to answer. I never thought to be an investment analyst until the day I was promoted to this position. However, if you ask me what I think now, I would say I love this job position and I was lucky to be promoted to this position.
How long will you continue to do this type of work?
I will continue to work for this type of job at least in next 5 to 6 years. After that, I have a plan to become an entrepreneur and run my own consulting company.
Would you like to do a different job in the future?
I might try to work as a part-time web strategist for a large web development company. But I have not given it that much thought. Would love to continue my current job role for the next few years, but won't be interested in working in a different sector unless and until I start my own business.
雅思口语
Part 1, Study. Do you work or study?
I am currently studying at university. I am in the 4th year and my major is accounting and finance.
Where do you study?
I study at Tianjin University. It is one of the top 20 universities in our country. My major is accounting and finance.
What is the name of your university?
The name of my university is Tianjin University. It is more popularly known as Tianda.
What subject are you studying?
My major is accounting and finance.
Which part of the course do you enjoy most?
I enjoy learning new things in every semester. The project works in each semester are the part one enjoy most. These projects enable me to work in a group and apply the theories I learn throughout the semester.
Why did you choose to study that?
To be honest, I did not particularly select this subject. I attended the university admission test in commerce faculty, and based on my performance on the exam and interview with the faculty members, I was offered this subject from their end. I wanted to study in commerce faculty, and now I feel very lucky that I was offered this major.
Is it a difficult subject to study?
In a general sense, this subject requires extensive study, research, group works, and other academic activities. Things are new and challenging in many cases, but I think with passion and dedication it can be conquered. To me, it is a difficult yet very enjoyable subject.
What is your favorite subject?
Finance without any doubt is my favorite subject. I am so fascinated to study the connection of this subject with global financial markets. The market has made this subject more complex yet more intriguing. I love to explore different theories and researches done on this subject and understand more about the financial markets.
What kind of school did you go to?
I started a local public school at age 7. I got in a selective high school after primary school. Now I am studying in a large university which is one of the top 20 universities in my country.
What was your favorite subject at school?
English was my favorite subject because I found it very useful to learn a foreign language. Thanks to my English teachers, they taught me how to read and speak. Now I can understand foreign movies in English version and speak quite fluent English.
What is the best thing about your university or school?
I love my university life. Lectures, friends, teachers, university activities, the freedom to do so many things, and my participation in some charity works organized by the university are equally important to me. If I have to select one best thing about my university, I would choose my exposure to a diverse culture and academic life that has motivated and inspired me to do even better than I initially thought. I was exposed to a life and era that was unimaginable to me, and that is the best part of my university life so far.
What part of university life do you like best?
Well, I think my previous answer already covers this question. However, I would say I enjoy most of my university life, and my exposure to a whole new culture that I never imagined is the best part of my university life. My university life offers me a vision for my future and potential job sectors, and I think this is the best part.
What is the educational system like in your country?
I am glad to discuss this topic with you. In our country, the primary education is mandatory for all children, and schools are funded by the government unless parents want to send their children to private schools. The secondary and tertiary education systems are also managed and run by the government, and there are only a few private schools available for rich families. In order to adapt to the rapid development, I am happy to see many changes brought to our educational system in the last few years, and innovation and quality modern education is a vision our country has already started implementing.
What are your future study plans?
It will take me 7 to 8 months or more to complete my bachelor degree from now on. I will try to get admitted to a good university to continue my studying for a master degree overseas. I will find a job after the master course. And furthermore, I have plans to get enrolled in a professional MBS course to further my education. If time allows, I also wish to do some research-based courses related to my academic background and interest.
What kind of job would you prefer after graduation?
I would prefer to work in an international company which will offer me a position related to my academic background and have a positive working environment to learn and explore new things. I would not worry too much about my designation and salary initially, but the company must have sufficient scope for career enhancement.
What is your career plan after you graduate?
For the first few years, I would like to work in an international company. Maybe in 10 years' time, I will start my own business. I want to be an entrepreneur rather than working in a company for the rest of my life. I know being an entrepreneur is not that easy, and it requires a lot of dedication and commitment. I will work to fulfill my plan no matter what.
Why are you taking the IELTS test?
The reason I am taking the IELTS test is to apply to the top universities in Australia or Canada. As we have known, the IELTS score is a prerequisite to prove my ability to handle the foreign language. So I need to achieve the higher score to apply to these universities.
谢谢收看。